All right, people, we're back. We're back. I am your host, Terrence Styles. I'm in the studio with my handsome guest co-host on this Monday evening, Richie Sky.
Richie Sky.
Certified DJ Richie Sky.
Get into it.
Yeah, get into
all the way into it.
Right. Our Chronicle for tonight is a peace of mind. I have author Craig Stewart in the building and Raven Akundayo, who's a certified life coach. And so if you want to get some, have some questions for either Raven or Craig, you can call us up at 888-400-5574. Again, 888-400-5574. And we just got some great true life from Troy, the trainer. Richardson, he always gives that true life, the real you every day. Or if you like to be the true you every day, you could do that as well. So Raven, I have a question that was presented by I call him my roller coaster buddy, Mr. Bouvier. He said, let me make sure I say it right, because I don't want to say, Richard said, oh my God. So does telling people,
yeah,
like I'm laughing even trying to get this out.
It's like that.
Does telling people to get your life qualify as a life coach?
It's a life coach. That's more like a life assistant.
Life assistant. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm just going by the question.
Right.
Mr. Bouvier had sent me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bouvier.
Yeah, right.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I'd say my roller coaster buddy. Something else.
It's something.
Craig,
Yeah.
I'm going to move to you right now. You wanted to give us a little snippet, little piece
From Words Never Spoken.
from Words Never Spoken for people to be inspired. By this,
Well, I don't know if this piece is going to really inspire, but
or maybe
yeah, to pique
attract
some
them.
interest.
Yeah, pique some interest.
Okay,
Is it juicy?
of course.
Okay.
But
Sure.
since we're censored, I'm gonna. I
we
I
are,
selected a spot
you know.
where I could stop.
Yeah, I mean to a certain extent, but I still want it to be juicy.
Well, I need a list of what I can say and what I can't. Can I say genitalia or no?
Yeah, you can say genitalia.
No, I don't mean genitalia.
Right.
I mean,
You can't say like vulgar genitalia.
oh, well then I have a point where I'm gonna stop.
All right, okay.
Okay, so this is the opening of the book. This is actually the first section that I wrote when I started writing it. The first man I developed real feelings for contracted HIV from the relationship he had prior to us meeting, but he found out 2 months after we met. It was October 1st, 1999 to be exact. I'll never forget that date because that day also marks my youngest nephew's birthday. In truth, Salim didn't know if he contracted the virus from his ex or a stranger because he and his boyfriend did whatever with whomever while in that arrangement. It was dysfunction from the onset. That relationship was indicative of all the fears I harbored about being with another man intimately. Consistent heartache, one after another, fueled by a series of love triangles, cheating, and of course, HIV. After all, haven't we all been programmed to believe the gay community is the breeding ground for this disease? I imagined to be gay would mean being lonely because it meant isolation from family. A life fraught with short-lived relationships ending prematurely because men are believed to be incapable of monogamy in heterosexual relationships. So the idea of two men living happily ever after was inconceivable for me. Thus, I didn't want anything to do with being gay, and I prayed for years that I wouldn't grow up to be. Salim and Wayne never determined who was responsible for bringing the disease into their lives. All he knew was that during an argument that lasted until 4 a.m., his ex told him he needed to be tested. I had just begun exploring my sexuality the year before, so for me, dating someone HIV positive was the equivalent of a girl getting pregnant during her first sexual encounter, a nightmare realized. I had an idea of what being gay in the life entailed long before acting on feelings that followed me through childhood, because family members teased me, calling me sissy, fag, or punk when upset with me, and seeing Paris as burning for the first time, cringing, yet identifying with the people in the documentary. The sneers and taunts from family were packed with enough power to shatter the best self-esteem and confirmation that gay was wrong. It's the reason many of us grow up despising other gay men, refusing to date those with feminine qualities. I know a great deal of men who struggle with their sexuality because they were molested as children, and a percentage of those men are confused with whether or not they are gay because they were victims of molestation. The answer to that question is deeply personal and specific to each individual. I wasn't molested, and I know I was born gay. It wasn't a choice, it wasn't a decision, nor was it learned. I knew at an early age but chose to avoid it. From what I knew about gay people, all were interested in becoming women, wearing women's clothes, flamboyant or destined for hell. I wasn't. I concealed my feelings and innermost thoughts from puberty through my college years. I actually believed if I never acted on that which I was avoiding, then I wasn't really gay, and I would somehow escape being gay. It was denial at best, and quite possibly how some men slip into living double lives. I thought suppressing the feelings was the remedy for not being gay as an adult, and the route around all the labels that came with it. As a teenager, I was never attracted to any male in particular. I was simply intrigued by the male physique in gym classes, and porn if my friends and I happened to watch. My first sexual experience was with one of my childhood friends. His family had a motorhome parked in their backyard, and from time to time his mother used it to watch the soaps or to nap. We climbed in one day when it was unoccupied and took turns humping each other on the bed with our pants around our ankles and our penises pressed against each other. For years I chalked it up as kids experimenting. I pushed the experience so far to the edge of my memory that I almost forgot it happened. It was difficult denying to myself that I was gay when my wet dreams were no longer about girls, but boys. Dreams aren't planned. I couldn't control them. Then there were trips to Owings Mills Mall in Maryland to sneak peeks at Black Inches magazine. This magazine wasn't as tasteful or artistic as Playgirl in the way that they photographed their models. These men were black, completely naked, erect, and posed in a sleazy, leave nothing to the imagination kind of way. My heart raced and my palms sweat as I carefully removed the magazine from the plastic cover while keeping an eye on the unassuming store clerk. I would stuff the plastic somewhere on the bookshelf, grab a copy of Fishing and Hunting magazine to conceal the smut, then find a corner in the store to enjoy. It would have been easier to buy the magazine, but I could only imagine the puzzled look on the store clerk's face when I appeared at the counter to purchase a magazine full of naked men. Not to mention, all I needed was for my mother to find it stashed someplace in my room because she happened to find it. She's the mother that believes it's your room, but that room is in her house. After years of concealing feelings and thoughts, I finally drummed up the courage to go to a gay bar back home in Baltimore after I moved away for school at Hampton University in Virginia. I don't think I could have gone to a gay bar in Baltimore had I not moved away, because I never considered venturing to one in Virginia for fear of running into someone from campus. I was home visiting one weekend and decided to go to Club Buns. Paranoia convinced me that someone would recognize my car or had even memorized my license plate number, so I parked a street or two away from the club. The mind has a wonderful way of convincing us our fears are fact and what isn't is. I wore a wool newsboy hat pulled down over my eyes to avoid eye contact, and a teak-colored peacoat with the collar popped to make it difficult to see my face. What I failed to realize, my attire created mystery that drew attention to me in the tiny, dark, sparsely furnished bar. I sat in the corner looking and observing. I didn't have enough sense to order a drink to appear normal. Instead, I gave a good impression of a recluse. One of the other patrons came over and asked if he could buy me a drink. I declined and he retreated to his place at the bar. The club was dead with the exception of the bartender, DJ, and 2 to 3 patrons who appeared to be regulars, so I left. I returned months later on a night the club hosted strippers because I liked the idea of men being comfortable naked with other men looking and touching them. I'll stop there because it gets X-rated. It gets X-rated from there. But the book is called Words Never Spoken.
That was good. That was really,
Thank
really
you.
good.
Thank you.
Were you intrigued, Richard?
I was intrigued.
Did you get the book?
I already
He already
ordered.
Oh, you already got it?
Yeah.
I just bought it. Just
Oh, you
Yeah.
just
on
did?
the break.
He just
Oh,
did
look
it.
at you.
He just did it. Before even hearing the snippet, right?